Live. Eee! Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Conversation Stash. I'm your favorite fabulous fairy, Shayna Dixon, and I'm here today with Theo Hill, and he
Hi.
is going to talk to us about the healing arts of massage. So, okay, how did you get into massage? Like, what was it?
Well, it's something I've been doing pretty much my whole life. When
Okay.
I was very little, my dad would always get these knots in his back, and I was pretty much the only one in my family who was able to work on them and get them out. And just over time, I'd been getting better and stronger with it, and I just finally decided to go to school about a year ago, and just completely fell in love with it.
Wow. So it was really more one of those labors of love, and then you're like, well, I'm good at it. Might as well turn it into a career.
Essentially, yeah.
Well, how long have you been doing massage then? So that's like, what, 20 years or?
Pretty much,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much 20 years of massage. That is epic. Okay, so that takes me into I was going to ask you how long have you known you've had a gift to heal people, but apparently since you were a little kid. Um is this a profession that you would suggest to other people, or is this more like it has to be a calling?
It really depends on the type of person you are. It's not something that you would want to jump into just for money. You can get the same amount of money doing pretty much anything else. Um, it's it's something that you need to be good at.
What is like the pros and the cons of it?
Uh, well, the cons are it takes a lot out of you, just being
Physically,
physically.
emotionally, mentally, like.
It's typically not something people do for their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
People can do it, but it can have a toll on a person's body. That's part of our training in school, was figuring out the best way to give a massage to prevent that from happening.
Okay, so to keep yourself from getting carpal tunnel or
Yeah,
whatever it is. Okay.
being able to stand correctly to give correct pressure.
That makes a lot of sense. You don't really think about that when you go to a massage therapist. You're not like, oh, yeah, these people are bent over massaging me all day. You're just there going, ah. That
Yeah.
is crazy. I have had a massage from Tommy, and let me tell you, I walked like taller, better. He fixed parts of me that I didn't know could. This one day at work, actually, I could barely walk, and he actually had a table out, and he was giving 5-minute sessions to everybody who was working at that place with us. So I got on for my 5-minute session. He put his elbow in my sciatica and gave some pressure that I swear to God, I probably had my eyes bugging out. There was whistles coming out of my ears and everything. But when he let relief off that pressure, I could actually walk. I don't want to be like, you miracle worker, you fixed me, but I swear to God, I told everybody, get on his table. This miracle worker fixed me. It was absolutely amazing.
And typically that's not something I would do with everyone, but it was,
Well, I asked for
yeah, it was
it.
by your request.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
asked for him to go hard because my nerves are so deep in there. If you aren't really giving me all you got, I kind of can't even feel it. It's like a butterfly massage. So again, if you had a hard customer like me, I can see, you're doing the massage and I really want it. That probably takes more out of you than somebody who prefers the lighter
Light
touch.
pressure, yeah. And it depends on the style of massage. Like a basic Swedish it can go from a light to a firm, but a light is just basically rubbing oil or lotion on a person's body.
Oh, okay.
And it can be a little stronger, but that's essentially a Swedish massage, is just to relax you.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So if you want to be just relaxed, you'll get a Swedish massage. So that'll ask me. I'll ask you this then. Um, so what kind of massages do you do? What are the different kinds of sessions that you do?
My specialty would be deep tissue,
Okay.
but typically it goes in combination with a Swedish massage,
Oh, nice.
because most people can't really handle a full hour-long session of just deep pressure into their muscles.
I can. I'm
You'd
like,
want
that
to.
hour's gone already. You're like, oh yeah, the hour's gone.
Well, also, it depends on the issues you have. Someone might pay for an hour of deep tissue, and their issue might end up being to a point where they can't receive any more work, but they still have a lot more time to go. So I would switch into more of a Swedish approach to the rest of
Okay.
their body, and if I found other issues, I would address them.
That's really good. So he's not just gonna look and, okay, there's your body. You get what you get. He's gonna try to listen to your body and say, okay, they're done with that right here, but over here they need a little bit more TLC. That's
Exactly. It's a
something.
conversation.
Yes, it's a conversation with the person's body because you're in tune with their energy, you're in tune with everything that's going on with them, and you're really filling out the parts. Oh, look, you had a bad day this week, and oh, look over here. So instead of just you get what you get, he's actually going to custom tailor it to you, which is something you're not going to get at just any old massage place. If you ask for a hard deep tissue, they might ease up if you tell them whatever, but they're not going to intermediately switch between Swedish and deep tissue based on what they feel your needs are, which I feel like that's one of the pros of having a private massage therapist
Yeah.
is that they get to custom tailor to you a little bit more.
Yeah. Typically, if you go to spas or basic massage shops, they have a specific sequence that they have their therapist go through with everyone, and it's typically not as tailored.
So I heard that you do assisted yoga. What is assisted yoga?
That would be what's called Thai massage. It's something that I received training in when I went to school. It's not something I'm completely trained in. I'd have to go to Thailand for that for about 2 months,
Oh, okay.
I think. But essentially, it is assisted yoga. It's just taking you through a myriad of different stretches that your body can do while you're trying to relax in it. The therapist is basically doing all the work for you.
Who is the best candidate for something like that? Is it like tailored or is it?
It's tailored. A big part of it is to increase flexibility. So pretty much anyone can, so long as they're not suffering some kind of injury.
Okay. So if you're looking to stretch out your muscles, but maybe you're worried that, oh, I don't want to bend in a certain way and hurt myself, I'll be the first to admit I do yoga on my own. I put on a YouTube video, I stretch out on the ground, and there's been a couple times where I'm trying to look up at the video as I'm down doing the pose, and I will pull something in my neck or my back. So it's like, oh, wow, okay, maybe maybe I should either watch the video or do the yoga, but not try to do both. So I can see how having somebody there would really, really help you out.
Sure.
I had a question. So is there a connection between energy work and massage?
Energy work would be a different modality of massage therapy. It was also something I was trained in at school. It's a bit closer to Eastern style massages, tapping into traditional Chinese medicine, and there's a concept in TCM called meridians. It's basically pathways of energy within your body,
Okay.
going from heaven to earth, that things like acupressure and shiatsu massage work with.
Okay.
There's different forms of it. There's also chakra cleansing, which just instead of looking at meridians, looks at the different chakras of your body.
Oh, wow. So what would somebody expect from a session where you're working with that? What's something that they would maybe experience or maybe walk away from?
I'd say it depends on the person going in for the therapy, if what they're open to. I've received chakra cleansing myself, and it's really hard to describe the feeling afterwards. Going through it, the first time I didn't really feel anything until the therapist got to my eye chakra. In a chakra cleansing, that the therapist has a pendulum floating over you and assessing the state of your different chakras. And when he got to my third eye, I started to feel as if he was just pressing a finger right over my eyebrow. And after,
are you touching me?
Yeah,
No.
no. And after a moment, I sort of felt this, I guess, like Bell's palsy feeling just expand from my face.
Oh, wow.
And just take up the whole right side of my face. And while I was going through that, the thoughts in my head were like, I guess I have Bell's palsy now.
This is my permanent.
This is my life.
This is where I am now. Sorry, don't mean to make. If you haven't, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but let's.
Right. Because I mean, I'd never received one. I'd never experienced that feeling before. So I thought, this is my life now.
What was that?
Um,
Was that
uh,
just something opening up, or what was that?
that's the only thing I could think would be the answer. Is something was just opening up in my third eye, and
Wow.
it was a strange experience.
Yeah, I bet. I received Reiki only one time in my life, and actually, I met the guy the day before he was leaving. So now, if you're out there, I miss you. Like, but he gave me a session like the day before he took off, and I was about the same. He put stones on me, and he asked if permission if he could put hands on me at times and things like that. Which he said typically in Reiki they don't do that, and I didn't even know what Reiki was, but when he got to certain parts of me, he seemed to know exactly where I would have problems. Like he said, "Oh, you've suffered sexual trauma and you've this and that." And I was like, "Wow, that's looking deep. You know, how did you know that?" And then when he got to my third eye, he was like, "Ooh, I think you just burned me." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "It's like a laser pointer." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've got my wide spectrum high beams too." He's like, "Yeah, I know." But that was the craziest feeling because when I walked away, I felt it, like you said, it's hard to describe. It was almost like a light, like I was extra light,
Sure.
or that I had a little bit of a buzz or a little bit of something going on up here, just a little bit. But energy healing, actually, I work with a lot of twin flames, and for any of them who are watching this right now, I would suggest if you can get a massage therapist like Theo Hill here, who you really trust and feel comfortable with, try to get some energy work done if you can, and maybe some massage. Because when I was in separation with my twin, which is the worst thing, that's basically like your other half of you gets ripped from you. It's what you feel like your home is, and they're just not there anymore. Is like the worst thing. So to get back to union with that person, you have to experience self-love and you have to be very, very happy of where you are. Well, that's really difficult for a lot of us to get to because um, we're just completely devastated, and you don't want anybody to touch you. You don't want anybody to, you know what I mean? You only want that one person. But I will say this, having somebody like Theo here who you trust and who feels like that positive energy, when you get a massage from them, you walk away with more than just the healing aspects of, oh, they got rid of this, tension that I had. You raise your endorphins, and it raises your energy level and your vibration, whether you're getting energy work or not. I swear it does. There's actually a scientific fact that women have to have physical touch, whether it be a handshake, a pat on the back, whatever, at least 13 times a day to have correct serotonin levels. So if they're going to be happy in the state of mind, they need to have some sort of physical contact. Now, if you've been in separation for a couple months, a year, whatever, you're not trying to date anybody, you're not going out, you've been at home, your body's all tensed up, you're already sad and depressed, plus you're not getting that physical attention because you really don't want anybody touching you, take my advice. He changed my life. He really did, because it's a platonic touch. There's nothing sexual about it. It's healing. It's very uplifting. You walk away feeling that connection with somebody on a positive note, and you also are relieving toxins that you've been holding on to because of the sadness, because of the depression. So, I mean, if you're a twin flame and you never thought, oh, hey, little fuzzy thing, if you never thought, hey, I should get a massage, I don't want anybody to touch me, let me tell you, that's the opposite way you should be thinking. You should be thinking, pick up somebody like this and be like, okay, let me get some things working. Um, I wanted to know, sorry, I've got my little notes here, everybody. Um, if somebody was going to get this as a profession and they wanted to do this, what would you suggest to them that they should do? What should they look into?
Really, the first thing would be getting massage themselves. See if they are um, open to receiving massage therapy and seeing if it's the right path for them. And the next would be, of course, finding the proper school. The school I went to, the National Holistic Institute, is widely considered the best school organization in California. There's multiple all over the state.
Oh, awesome.
And the one I went to is in Clovis, and I loved every minute of it. I graduated with honors and 2 letters of excellence.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
but I couldn't have done that if I didn't attend as much as I did.
Okay.
Um, and I mean, I loved the teachers. I loved the other students. and it reignited a interest and love of education in me.
Oh, wow. Is it a hands-on school or is
It
it
is.
reading in the books?
It is. It's hands-on. There's two ways you can do it. There's 8 months and 12 months, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I went, it was between 8:30 and 12:30, 4 days a week, and 8:30 and 4:30 1 day a week.
Oh, wow.
And on the 4 hour days, it was, or 3 hour days. Anyway, it was 1 hour of
Don't ask
lecture
us.
and 2 hours of massage,
Okay.
and 1 hour would be spent giving, and 1 hour would be spent receiving.
Wow. So that's really, really cool. So you're going to get to relax a little bit
Yeah,
as you learn. Which I guess, you know what, if you're going to learn the technique, you would have to know what the technique is supposed to feel
yeah,
like on
exactly.
you. So that makes a lot of sense that they would have you go through that. That's actually really, really epic. Um, okay.
If you can't receive massage, then
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, then also, if you can't receive, that means that you have a barrier between people and touch freaks you out. So, how are
yeah,
you supposed to give that if you can't receive
yeah.
that kind of touch? Um, so, we went over this a little bit, but what are the main benefits of massage?
Well, as you said, it's a very good treatment for depression, for one thing. Just receiving a nurturing touch from someone without it being anything sexual.
Yeah.
Just having that trust with someone else, and being comforted is so helpful for people.
Would you recommend this for people who are victims of sexual abuse also to help get past that? Or you think that's a little.
It depends.
Okay. I mean, if they're ready to do it,
If
they
they're
obviously
ready,
would come to you. But
sure,
yeah.
it can help, but it's not something that you would um, do before you're ready for
No,
it.
definitely
Yeah.
not. Definitely not.
It's been used as exposure therapy for people who are afraid of human touch. I had a student in my class who spoke about a client they had who was sent because they couldn't be touched, and they the therapist just put their hands on the client, and the client immediately just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
So it's all up to whether or not the client is able to be ready for that.
That makes sense. Would you say that there's an age restriction or an age that you should start or stop getting massage, or is this kind of like from baby to the grave kind of thing?
Uh, from baby to the grave, yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Um, there are specialists who are trained to do infant massage.
Okay.
That's not something I'd be able to do.
You're like,
No.
I broke it. I went small, but my hands are bigger than.
um,
No killing babies.
I have met a therapist who that's all he does is go to hospitals and work with children who I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, that's fine.
But the the boxes that they put. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Basically, when children are not able to be touched by their family, they're in
Oh, an incubator.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, yeah, an incubator box. Yeah, I get
Yes.
this.
He's trained to give that touch to children in incubators, and the older you get, the more uh, open it is for different therapists. Typically, for children under 18, an adult, a parent,
Well, that
has
makes
to be
sense.
in the room.
Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense. There's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
For the kids' sake, for everybody's sake.
Yeah.
That way everybody knows everything was on the level
Sure.
in this day and age.
And the older you get, you would get into what's called end of life care.
Okay.
When I was going to school, there was a section specifically on end of life care. They showed us this video. It's on YouTube called Christmas with Chuck. It was about a therapist's experience working in the 80s with a client who was dying of AIDS.
Oh, wow.
And it just went over some photos she had with him, and her last session with him involved how a bunch of it was actually spent just talking, and how deeply the therapist's touch meant to him, and that he grew to love the therapist. Um, and when they started their session, she told him that because he was having issues breathing while face down, she would have to massage him on his side. But her touch meant so much to him, he would rather suffer while he breathed than miss out on the normal touch.
Oh, well, yeah, I can assume if you have AIDS, you're probably not used to people willing to touch
Yeah,
you. There's,
especially in that time.
yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about AIDS that you can just get it by anything. You have to swap blood or saliva in an open wound or in a like your eye, in an orifice somewhere. Just touching the skin, that's not gonna give it over. So if you've got anybody who's going through that and you're like backing away from them because you don't want to get it, don't drink after them. If they're bleeding, make them clean it up or something. Just stay away from that part. But I mean, it's okay to still be there for somebody who's going through something as horrible as that. Please don't turn them into a leper. That makes, depression only makes things go quicker. So if you can help, yeah, help. I'm like, so that's really sweet that she was able to
Yeah,
give that time, especially to somebody that you're making this bond with somebody, and just like a pet, you're gonna one day have to see them go. Like that's a really hard thing. Um, so massage therapists, are they angels on earth? I'm thinking maybe because they're taking the hit for a lot of people. I wanted to know. So, do you have any tools other than your hands that you work with?
um, well, I use my elbows a lot, my forearms. Depending on if a person is chair, I could even use my knees. Um, I'm trained to massage with my feet, even, and I actually really enjoy doing that.
Can I have a foot massager? No, 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 no. Massage me with your feet.
And a
I
lot
was
of
like,
people do that.
okay. And my
And
hands
it's very
get kind of
effective.
tired. Let me just throw the size 9 up there.
That's called ashiatsu.
Are
Shiatsu
you
is
walking on them, or
no,
how do
I
you
don't
do
do
it?
that.
Oh, okay. I was like, but how do they
It's
do that? Do they walk on them? What are they
there are
doing?
some that do, but a lot of it is just the therapist standing to the side using one foot to basically do the same things their hands would do.
Oh, okay. So if they have more wherewithal in their legs and more
Yeah,
stamina, they might choose to be that kind of a therapist because their hands are weak or whatever. And
sure.
so, okay, that's really cool. I know that when you did my massage, you used a couple creams and some things on me. What were you using?
Um, the I
You said
believe I used a CBD
you
based
did that, and
on
then I think
you.
you said some zinc or potassium or iron or
Oh, that's
something.
magnesium.
Magnesium.
Yeah.
There we go. It was some chemical. I knew there was something going on.
I'd never used it before, and I just wanted your input on what it felt like.
Well, I don't know if it worked or not, but I felt amazing at the end of that massage. So whatever he put on me, I was literally, without exaggeration, 4 days after his massage, I still felt at least 2 inches taller, and I had better posture, and I noticed that it was easier to keep my posture in. Now I was trying to be mindful because I do my typing and on my computer, so I was trying not to go back into
Yeah.
that, but it was at least 4 days. I felt 110% better, and I would say for like it carried for at least 2 weeks. I felt like 95% better. The tingly kind of sore feeling happened for like 2 days, but I mean, I really had him go deep on me, and I asked for it, and he said, "You're gonna be sore," and I'm like, "That's fine. If I'm not, I'll be mad." So I really got what I asked for, and in my situation, it was like a life changing. I think I was practically crying when you showed up, and by the time you left, I was like, "What else do you want? Have this. Have you? Would you need anything else? Here's some money. Here's some this. Here's some that." Because I was just so grateful. It changed my life. If you've never had one, you should try it. No, 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 no. Okay, so I already asked you what you can expect during that, but during a typical rummy kind of A to Z, typically what can you expect when you go to someplace for a massage? What kind of clothes should you wear? uh is it good to do it the day after you've been drinking? Is this like a drink of water kind of situation? Like, kind of run me through.
I mean, definitely stay hydrated before and after. And it's typically not something you want to do when you're currently consuming alcohol. Um, and that's something we were told: never massage someone if they're drinking currently, because it will just make them drunker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I brought that up for a reason. When I was like 13, 14, my mom's boyfriend got us all tickets to get massages for Christmas. So we all went to this place in like, I don't know, Dinuba or something like that. And we went to go get massages. And the day before well, no, I had to have been older than that then, because this is a drinking story. So I had to have been here. Let's pretend I was drinking not before I was 21. Let's just say I was 21. Anyways, I was here. I was drinking the night before. I was hungover. I went to go get a massage. I promptly puked everywhere right after the massage. The lady's like, "You should drink some water." And I drank some water and I went outside and I puked everywhere. So if you're planning on getting a massage, don't toxify your body hardcore the day before, because I'll tell you this, right after a normal massage with a normal body, you still kind of get that feeling of I need to purge some stuff. So if you don't drink that water, like drink the water, like have like a thing this big and drink it like 3 times full of water, because literally it's flushing all of that toxins out of you, right?
Sure.
Yeah, because yeah, I don't know why I said 15. I suck at time. I know that I wasn't even living here when I was 15. It had to be at least 19, but could have been 19, could have been 20, could have been 21. I don't really know. Drink when you're 21, though. Don't drink before then.
Often that is a thing, though. During a massage, I mean, we call that massage drunk.
Okay, yeah.
Just people do often get off the table a little dizzy if it's a good massage.
Yeah, especially I feel like there's something that happens when you squeeze the big toes that your head gets affected. And if they gave you like, I think they gave me like a big, like they ended with the feet. So I was doing okay, and then they did the feet, and it felt really good. But I think it just like mixed up whatever was going on. But we got a little off track. So on a typical massage, though, I mean, what should they? How should they show up, and what should they expect?
Again, it depends on the style. If you're getting a Swedish massage, I would recommend just loose clothing. When you go in, they should say something to the effect of disrobe to your level of comfort. If you don't want to take anything off, that's perfectly fine. Um, but if you're going for a shiatsu, that's usually fully clothed.
Okay.
Loose clothing, but you never really take anything off.
Nice. So
I
that's
would
actually
recommend jeans though. Nothing too thick.
okay. Nothing. So nothing thick and nothing restricting. They want
Yeah.
to be able to move around and feel
And
everything.
move you around. You be able to stretch in.
That's important. So definitely that. Um. So how can somebody choose a good massage? Okay, first of all, I will leave contact information on how you can contact him personally. But if you happen to not be in the Central Valley area or outside of his range of travel, and you're not willing to travel, you need to know how to find a good massage therapist in your area. So what are some things people can look for to kind of get, I don't know, a better idea of, okay, I'm going to get a generic massage here, or this one might be a happy ending massage, or this one I'm actually going to walk away from the table feeling better. Like, how could they kind of keep an eye out for what to look for?
It's all about experimentation.
Okay.
Because not every therapist is for everyone. I'm not the right therapist for everyone.
Because you said you do more strong stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, with my deep tissue work, it might not be the right fit for someone. If you're looking for just a place to go, start with just the basic you can find. I sometimes go to a therapist in my hometown who's fairly low priced. But it is essentially you get what you pay for.
Okay.
Um,
So that's one thing to look at. The price sometimes will matter on what kind of treatment you're going to be getting.
A lot of the times on those little shops, there's one person certified, and everyone working with them is working under their certification. That's in California. There's therapists at chiropractors and those salons who aren't certified. They're just working underneath someone else's.
Oh, wow.
And
So do they have the same technique or practice, or is it like, I mean, I guess that's hard for me to wrap my mind around how one person can have the certification and then multiple people could be working underneath it. It's like saying I'm a doctor and you haven't gone to school, but I'm going to make you a nurse.
That's kind of it. They're
Okay.
trained by the person they're working under, and it's not typically the same training they get from going to school.
So would a good tip then be, for instance, you are certified,
Yeah,
so I would ask for Theo Hill to be my massage therapist. So if you go to a place and they have the certification on the wall, which I'm sure they do,
typically at least one.
would you look and be like, well, I really wanna work with Mary because Mary's the one who's, I
I
mean,
would say do that, yeah. And you also have to be very careful about the places you go,
mhm.
because a lot of the times, even on those, they can be the happy endings places, and that's something that's
Is
super
is
dangerous.
there a way that you can ask if this is a happy ending place without offending the massage therapist, or is that something you guys are used to hearing?
Um,
I mean, maybe not
it
you personally, but I'm just saying, like, are you you as the type of massage therapist? Is it a common thing to hear that, or to have people?
I've heard from my female counterparts that that's not an unusual question,
Okay.
um, and typically it's just something you shut down immediately. Um, and if you do find yourself in a place like that, I'd say get out as
Yeah.
fast as you can and report it. Those places, it's a double-edged sword, because while they're extremely illegal, it's also um, probably a part of the slave trade.
I was gonna say human trafficking.
Yeah, people from other countries will get offered citizenship through businesses, and they'll get there and basically find out that they have to work through that salon or whatever, and only get paid $2 an hour,
Oh
for
wow, that's
instance.
not even a hamburger in this
No,
city. I have a question. I heard a rumor that if the massage place you can't see in the window, like if they have like something covering the front window, then
sure.
that's a happy ending massage. Is
It's
that
not
true?
necessarily.
Okay, that's not necessarily true. Okay, because like there's a couple places that I've drove by and they've got like the red blinking open sign and like a little something covering the window, and I'm just like, I wonder how legit that is.
Sure. Um, it would depend on the area, most
Yeah.
likely. I've gone to places that have their windows covered, and it's just for general privacy.
Yeah, that makes sense also. I got to tell a real quick story. My love went to go get a massage and he was like, "Oh, 35 bucks for an hour. That's not bad, you know?" So, and he was thinking it was a little cheap, but he wasn't going to like question it cuz 35 bucks for an hour for a massage. He really wanted a massage. He walks in, they say, "You pay up front." So he was like, "Okay." So he paid the lady. And then she takes him to his room and she handed him what he described as a washcloth. He said it was about this big. And she said, "Put this over your junk." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, this isn't going to cover it." She's like, "No, it's okay. It's okay." And he's like, "I just wanted an actual massage." And she said, "Oh, honey, you in the wrong spot." And it's like, "Oh, okay, where do I go to get a regular massage?" And they suggested to him this place called A1 Massage that's here in around the area that we live in. But that was really really funny. So that's a good one. If they hand you a washcloth, you know you might be in the wrong spot.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wanted to know how much can people expect to pay for a massage, either with if you want to be with specific and say with
Hmm.
you, or just in general. What are you looking for like a half hour? What are you looking for an hour? And I know it will change for type of
Sure.
massage, but just
For an hour of Swedish, it's typically $1 a minute.
okay.
For a deep tissue, it can get up to 75. For a Thai massage, I that's something I would charge 175 for, because that can last up to 2 to 3 hours.
And that's very hands
Yeah,
on. That's
yeah,
extremely hands on. That's again where he was helping you stretch and do all of your mobilization. Um, Okay, so that I had a question. It just like evaded me. It had something to do with the money part. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. tip your massage therapist. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's customary to tip your massage therapist. He might not say that, but it's true. What is an actual? Because this is another question. If the massage was really good, what is a pleasurable tip for you that says, "Hey, thank you, you did a good job"? Like, what's a standard tip?
Um,
I mean,
if
you
I
can
were
go
to,
as
if
much as you want.
I,
I mean, $1,000, go ahead. You
sure.
know, go ahead.
If I were doing just a basic Swedish, a nice tip might be another $10 for a really good job.
$20. $20. Okay, he says $10. I'm saying $20. I usually tipped about $20 minimum for a really good massage. And if you're like, oh, that's another 20, no, trust me, you get what you pay for. Especially if you've got a massage therapist who is a private practitioner, who is completely certified. Actually, I was gonna say, do you have a current building right now? I know you're looking into
No,
that.
I just do alcohol massage.
Okay.
So people make appointments with me and I drive to them.
That's actually better. I like that. You come to me,
Yeah.
and then I get to go to sleep right after you leave my home.
Yeah.
So that's epic. So he is mobile. All right. So I've got to ask you one more question. Do you have any ghost stories?
Um, I don't.
Okay, that's fine. I just had to ask. I
Sure.
had to ask. All right, so this is Theo Hill. He is the best massage therapist I've ever come across in my life. If you're somewhere in the Central Valley, he does travel. If you are outside of that, you better be willing to pay extra travel expenses. But if you made it worth his while, I'm sure he would be willing to accommodate to a certain length outside of his actual parameters. You can contact him two ways. I will totally leave the description below after this gets published. First is by phone, and that is 559 643 9807. And the second way is by email, and that is Theo Hill at
AMTA.
amtamembers.com. So that is THEOHILL.AMTAMEMBER.com. So that is how you can get a hold of him. And it's not actually his massage site, but I know he has his costumes up on Instagram at Teddy Bro Costumes. So, and also if you need some epic costuming, hopefully I can have you on again and we can show some pieces
Sure.
of that. I would absolutely love it. This man, oh my gosh, you have no idea what he can do with fabric. So we'll do a different one on that, but if you happen to need something, check out what he does. You guys are going to be blown away. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
on the show. I absolutely love it. This was epic. And again, hit him up. Best massage I've ever had in my life. If you're going through something, this might be exactly what you needed to pull you out of your funk. So love you all so much. Thank you. Talk to you
Bye.
later. Bye.